why it pays to be cheaper, not better, and how we can fix that. I've had this question since I was a kid. If we've mastered this incredible architecture, why are so many homes built as cheap as possible? Talk to anyone in their 60s and you'll hear a familiar line. They don't build houses like they used to. The idea repeats across generations like a cultural reflex. And there's a real reason behind that. It's because the system rewards cutting corners, not craftsmanship. It's not because people don't care about quality, but because incentives quietly steer behavior in the opposite direction. The current system pushes construction towards the cheapest acceptable product, and how a different tax structure flips the logic entirely. Imagine I buy a piece of land in a major city with the idea of eventually building something. Right away I face two basic choices. Option 1, do nothing. Leave the land unimproved. Pay very little in property taxes because there's no structure to tax. Then I wait for the neighborhood to improve around me, which increases the land's value without me lifting a finger. And then I sell it in the future to collect the profit. This is speculation. Holding land not for use, but for expected appreciation. Option 2, build something. If I build, my property taxes go up because improvements are taxed. The higher the quality, the more I spend up front. Oh, and I'm taxed on that too, but buyers still mostly pay for the location, not the craftsmanship. So the economic logic becomes brutally simple. Don't overbuild for the neighborhood, don't overspend on materials, and keep costs low. Quality only helps if the market is willing to pay for it. And in most areas, there's a firm ceiling on what any particular market can afford. Meanwhile, the land value, not the building quality, drives most of the final price. And no, I'm not being lazy or greedy. I'm responding to a tax system where improvement is limited and cutting corners is rewarded. Logic says build cheaper, earn more. So how do we flip this incentive? Let's imagine a new rule book. One where the value of the location is taxed out of the land, instead of tax coming from things like material-related taxes, which could be sales tax, fuels excise tax, customs tariffs, corporate income tax, manufacturer property tax, commercial equipment tax. And then a couple of labor-related taxes, the Social Security tax, Medicare tax for both employee and employer, the federal income tax, the state unemployment tax, workers' compensation premium, and the wage-driven state income tax. And then just a couple land and construction taxes and fees. We have a property transfer tax, recording tax, title insurance tax, property tax for pre-development and post-development, building permit fee, electrical permit fee, plumbing permit fee, mechanical permit fee, grading permit fee, tree removal permit fee, zoning application fee, land use review fee, environmental impact review fee, stormwater permit fee, sewer connection fee, water connection fee, gas connection fee, utility tap fee, road impact fee, traffic impact fee, school impact fee, the parks impact fee, fire and EMS impact fee, sidewalk fee, curb cut fee, inspection fees. Oh, and also some financial related taxes, mortgage recording tax, bank corporate tax, loan organization fee, and mortgage insurance premium tax. And then some post-completion taxes. We have the annual property tax, the local utilities tax, the trash collection tax, the insurance premium tax, the capital gains tax, the real estate transfer tax. Let's reset here. So in this new rule book, we're only gonna do one tax instead of all those other taxes. I still own the land, but instead of being taxed on the building, I pay a land rent based solely on the location's value. The value created by the community, the roads, the parks, the schools, the transit system, the customers, the job, etc. The key shift happens when land value is taxed instead of the building and everything else involved. That means whether I build a cottage or a high-rise building, my tax bill doesn't rise because of the building. I no longer get a discount for letting the land sit idle. If I hold land unused, I am paying for that privilege and getting nothing back. This flips the incentives. If I'm paying for this site every year, I want it to produce something. And now, every dollar I put into quality stays with me. There's no tax penalty for craftsmanship. Under a land value tax, the land carries its own costs, and the building carries its own reward. So the logic becomes, build better, earn more. So why does this matter? This isn't about blaming the builders or the homeowners. Everyone is playing the hand the current system dealt them. The issue is that the rulebook makes waiting more profitable than creating. That's why we see underbuilt neighborhoods, cheap construction, endless speculation, and land held out of use, while communities struggle with housing shortages. A land value tax turns that on its head. It makes it profitable to use land well, not hold it hostage. It rewards quality instead of penalizing it. It shifts the economy from extraction to production without taking anything from the value that people create with their own two hands. So why does it pay to build cheaper? Because we've tied our tax system to the building itself instead of the land under it. We punish improvement and reward delay. But we don't have to keep playing the game. If we tax land value and free building value, we finally get a system where idle land becomes expensive, craftsmanship becomes profitable, cities grow upward and outward with quality, not shortcuts. And in that kind of world, for the first time in generations, it truly pays to build better.